Welcome to PFlax in the morning, episode 3. Sorry, PFlax in the morning. You know why I stopped doing that? Because I realised unintentionally I'd stolen it from Troy and Abed. It wasn't until last December, so post TI5 that I actually started watching Community. They didn't show it on TV in the UK, I don't think, so I had to watch it on Netflix, and I was devastated. I'd stolen something from Troy and Abed. So yesterday, I did something that I wanted to do for a whole year, and that was that I had to go on the Valve VR stuff, the new stuff, HTC Vive or however you pronounce it. It was unbelievably good. And I said the same thing last year, that I couldn't believe it, but last year was great, and the technology was simpler, the graphics were very good, there was a lot of elegance to what they were showing you, because it was new, and they were just trying to give you an idea of what it was going to be like. But there's some really elegant little touches, like there was in the original VR stuff I did. It was all QR codes all over the walls. You had to go into a little room, cover it in QR codes, and then as you looked around, the sensors on the front of the helmet picked up the QR codes, and they figured out, okay, well, we know where that one is, I know where that one is, so I can triangulate where I am from what angle those are at in my sort of sensors and stuff. Now they do it with lasers. And it's 2 little laser boxes, and that's it. And you have the headset on, you have cables coming out of the back of your head, you have controllers, you have headphones on, so there's audio and everything. So last year, one of the things was, isn't this cool? Like, there was a thing where you could go inside a picture, like almost like doing a panoramic view in Google Street View, only this time you could do it in a photograph. So that was nice, it was nifty, you could look around, that was quite cool. There was another one with Big Robot, Little Robot, where you look down at Little Robot, and then you look behind you, and there's a giant robot, and you sort of have to crane your neck to look up at it. And the point of it was to say that by using your neck muscles to actually have to look up, your brain is telling you this thing is big, right? Without that physical requirement to bend down, it exaggerates your instinctive reaction to the fact this is small or this is big, and that was really cool, and I thought that's really great. And we had a long chat about what you could do with it, and in a weird way I kind of felt like it was the first time I'd done anything like that, so it was kind of I was over impressed by the immersion, to the point where I was a little emotional about it. I was kind of like, wow, God, this is just really bizarre. I was like really deeply embedded in this. And I said to Doug, the guy who was working on it, I said that I don't think you could have a game that was like Alien Isolation or something, because it would scare the shit out of people. It would be too much. I would actually find it quite traumatic playing on a horror game within that kind of immersion. And that was last year. So this year I thought, well, maybe they've improved the graphics a bit. So now with the controllers, with the audio is even better. I was startled a number of times in even some of the very simple games. There was one where you're in the secret shop, the Dota 2 secret shop, and you're in the secret shop sort of after hours, if you like, so you're almost in the shopkeeper's house, and you're just free to explore it. And there's all couriers running around, there's like a Drodo there, and one of the things you do is you pick up a light that he gives you, and you shine your torch around, so you've got a free light source in your hand. And as you shine it around, the Drodo's eyes will follow it, he lights up perfectly, and you can interact with the environment and stuff. And one of the things that happens is you get shrunk, and you're on a shelf, and there's a spider there, and I turn around, there was a giant spider there, and I jumped out of my skin. Like, it was genuinely shocking to see this giant spider, because if you're looking at it on a screen, there's a huge disconnect. If you're looking at a screen, you can see reality right around here, but in the VR, because it's so good, there were points when I forgot that I was in a room with 6 other people, because I'd helped the guys set up. I'd done very little, but I'd helped them set up the stuff that we have here at the hotel, where it's like these 5 booths, everyone's going to have a go. I tweeted a picture of it. So I helped them set up. I was carrying some boxes and just lending a hand, because I chatted to Doug a lot over the last year about VR, and I helped them, and so they said, hey Pyrion, you can have a go. I was like, great, thanks very much. Because I think Doug really wanted to see what I thought about the difference between last year and this year. And it's a bit like playing a PlayStation 1 game when the PlayStation 1 first came out. You think, wow, this is fantastic. But instead of just being the PlayStation 1 going to the PlayStation 2, it's gone straight to like the PlayStation 3. And I just think, so when this finally comes out, it's going to be like this evolution. It's been I guess the PlayStation is a stupid analogy, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is in a year they've done fuck ton of stuff, and I can barely believe it. I mean, there's like I'm not going to ruin one of the maps, but it's genuinely a beautiful underwater experience. It really is. It really is. It was just a great moment. Fuck it. You're underwater. You're on a sunken ship underwater, and you're standing on the sort of the stern or the bow of the ship, and you can look around. There's little tiny fish. You can sort of poke at the fish. You see the water above, and you see these giant manta rays swimming above you. You see little fish. You can go and look down over the edge of the parapet, the sort of rampart, if you like, and you can look around. You sort of mosey around, and then you'll hear or feel this kind of something behind you. Like I totally just felt something. I don't know if it was sound or if it was a shadow, but I had an urge to turn around. You don't normally get that in games, right? Normally in games you could miss it. There needs to be an audio cue, or going back there would be an arrow telling you, look this way, and you'd be like, huh? And then you'd see the cutscene. Whereas in this, I don't know how they did it, but there was something that made me turn to my left. And as I turned, I suddenly saw, to scale, a blue whale swim past me, and it swims right up close to you, and its eye is like here, and it sort of blinks and looks at you, makes a sort of woo noise, and then it just swims off. And I was just like, because the sense of scale and the sense of surprise was just overwhelming. Like I just couldn't believe it. And they had stuff last year that I was impressed by, and there was a very trippy sequence at the end where you go through this kind of you're on a rail going through a strange environment that's all kind of spacey. It's like one of those old Amiga. Some of you may not remember the Amiga. I don't know. It is 30 years old. It's like those old Amiga graphics demos that they used to have, where it would look kind of trippy, and you just get high, or just drink a cup of tea and watch a freaky graphics demo. It was kind of like that, but with VR. But yeah, it was great. And then there was an aperture. You're sort of an aperture mechanic. That was very cool too. Really cool. And then they even had this really simple thing where you're just on the menu screen. You can blow balloons, and you hold down a button, and a balloon appears on the end of your control stick, and you can change the color. And then when you finish, it's full, and then you can tap it with the controller, and it makes the perfect balloon being tapped with the controller noise, and then shoots off and then floats up. And you can just blow those. I could have done it all friggin' day. I was just so amused just blowing balloons and tapping them around this environment. And then there was a gorgeous 3D paint program that I think the actual full potential of it is ridiculous. I mean, my first thought was my kids would love this. Like you have this brush selection tool in your left, and you can select different brushes, and you sort of have a thumb wheel, and you can through this menu, like, yeah, I'll get a fiery texture on this in green, and then you paint in 3D, and you can change the brush size, and you can draw, and then you can get inside your drawing and sort of look at it from a different angle. It was beautiful. It really was beautiful. So yeah, I'd love to. I hope I get another chance to do it. I would absolutely do it again in a heartbeat. I think I'll put my contact lenses on this time. Some technical details. The headphones will fit over a pair of glasses, and they actually fit really neatly in that when you put them in, it's a nice snug fit, and then it stops like about here, and you've got a sort of headset around here, and they built it to accommodate glasses, which is great. But I did find that it pushed my glasses onto my face a little bit, and that distorts your vision just a tiny bit. So if you do have the option to wear, I mean, all I needed to do was fiddle with it and get it at the right, you get the straps and everything right, but I just didn't. I just wanted to get in it and play. But I think if I put lenses in, it would be more effective. I think there is also the potential to look at Dota. This was big. I should have mentioned this at the start. I'm an idiot. There's the potential to watch Dota within this environment, and that's something they're working on. There's issues with frame rates and stuff like that at the moment because this is early days. This is like the alpha of all this, okay? But you would be able to watch Dota with the VR headset on, zoom in and out, go where you want on the map and watch the game like some kind of invisible giant god sat across the entire world of Dota and just watching. And you could just pick your viewpoint, you have your controllers to do what you want. Oh, well, let me see the score on this and stuff. And you could, I guess what you could do is you could have all your stats and stuff arrayed around you. So you could just position yourself, like you could almost use a controller to sort of pull yourself across the map, like in black and white, sit where you want, and then have a static field above you. So you could look up and pull down stats and look at them, and you could still watch the game. Okay, get rid of that, and then if you wanted, you could pull down replays and watch, because your viewpoint is no longer what can we fit on a screen. Like as a spectator, your viewpoint is now literally, well, all I have to do is look this way, and all of a sudden I have an entire new viewpoint that I can pull stuff into, and then I look this way, and I've got a whole other viewpoint, and then that stuff just stays there, and then I can look this way and this way. Unbelievable. Yeah, that was very exciting. And you could do stuff if you wanted, like you could go within the viewpoint of a creep, you could go within the viewpoint of a player, you could even just go to fixed Dota 2 viewpoint and watch it from above. You could do whatever you wanted, like the potential is there. At the moment, that's not the case, but I'm just thinking of the potential, and that's what they're looking at. They're looking at, holy shit, we could completely change the way you watch a game. And then you could scale that up to watching baseball, watching football, watching rugby, watching anything. You could position yourself pretty much wherever you like within the world. That would be really cool. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough about VR. I might have another talk about it. I might talk to, you know what I think might be cool is if I took the camera and spoke to someone else who did it and asked for their opinions on it and kind of canvas, because I'm super excited about this. Like, I don't normally get this excited about stuff, but I'm telling you that it's the future, man. It really is. And it's so exciting to see the very start of it and to talk to the people who are right there at the beginning of this, because this is absolutely how you are going to play games over the next 20, 30, 40 years. This will be it, because this is so good and so exciting and so revolutionary and so immersive that it would be ridiculous if we didn't just literally get all our monitors and just chuck them out the window, because there's really no point playing games on them if you can use this. It's that good. So yeah, I really can't wait. I need to get a job somehow working on this stuff. Maybe if we collectively get together, we could start a company, and you guys give me a ton of money, and then I'll buy the VR stuff from Valve, which will be no problem, and then I'll have it. And I'll get them to make games for me. That's basically what I want to do. Or I could design, oh my god, here's how we do it. We start, no, I'm not even going to go down that road. You know what I'm thinking, friends. You know what I'm thinking. There's money in it. Alright, well, I'm done anyway. It's the wildcard qualifiers today. I'm insanely excited for them. It's the start of TI. The stream was up yesterday, and there were like 5,000 people just watching a static graphic that just said the international, and then occasionally a spark would go across it like that. 5,000 people just watching that. So I think this year is going to be insanely hype, and people are going to be falling over themselves to watch it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that they're good games. It's going to be weird to see. It's not fun to see the teams that get knocked out, because you can just see how gutted they are. Like, it's just written all over their faces. So I'm not looking forward to that. Hopefully they'll do the decent thing and fall on their swords. I don't know how you could hang around at the event after you've been knocked out. But then again, you wouldn't want to miss it. So I don't know. I think if you got knocked out, a lot of teams would just leave. We'll see. I'll see you guys tomorrow.